Hello and welcome back to my channel. Bonsoir et bienvenue sur ma chaîne. My name is Muriel and in this video I will be doing a trailer reaction and analysis, if you will, for the upcoming Wheel of Time adaptation produced by Amazon Prime. Now, major disclaimer, I have not read the Wheel of Time series written by Robert Jordan. I don't really plan on reading it because 14 books is just a wee bit discouraging to me. Yeah. Is it an avowal of weakness? Perhaps, but alas, such it is. But in any case, I definitely want to check out the TV series. I've already watched the trailer a few times now, and I was pleasantly surprised. I don't know that I was surprised because I wasn't expecting anything particular, but I don't know. What I saw seemed pretty damn good to me. So yeah, let's take a look together, and as I did with my trailer breakdown for Dune, I will be pausing the video whenever I feel like interjecting a comment, and then at the end I'll wrap up with some more general thoughts and impressions. I know of the base premise of The Wheel of Time. I've read a bit about the series, the characters, like the way the world building works, by reading articles on the internet from forums and websites dedicated to The Wheel of Time. I'm by no means well versed in that universe, but I'm not completely clueless about it either.
Be strong. The Wheel of Time turns.
I've heard some people comment that that opening shot of the Two Rivers village, I believe it is fairly reminiscent of the opening of The Lord of the Rings in Hobbiton. I know for a fact, right, that Robert Jordan did it on purpose to have the beginning of The Wheel of Time be very similar to the beginning of The Lord of the Rings. I think that was done on purpose, so I mean, that is to be expected to a certain extent, but I mean, beyond that, to me it looks different from like Hobbiton and The Lord of the Rings. Like, it's similar because it's like a quaint little village. Yeah, sure, it looks similar, but I mean, for one thing it's meant to, and it's still different. And that opening shot of the mountains, very scenic.
And ages come and pass.
Now, I'm aware that that dude is Rand and that young lady is Egwene, I believe. Is it Egwene or Nynaeve? I can't remember. But I know there's a love interest going on there. That smile, this is gonna sound mean, but I'm like, he looks like such a dork. It's mean. I know, it's like young people in love, it's supposed to be sweet, but I just, look, don't take it badly, I just don't find that sweet. I find that a bit dorky. It's a natural part of growing up, fine, but I'm not about it at all. But that's fine. Again, that's a beautiful shot. That's a beautiful shot. I don't know why, but that image of that man with tears kissing that ring, I have no idea what's going on. Just so you're aware, I don't know what's going on there. But I don't know, it looks very nice to me.
That become legend.
And again, the music being introduced there, starting up like that. Oh, I really like that. Like I said, I'm very sensitive to OSTs, they're very important to me, and that gets me going. And that shot of, so the main city, I think, of The Wheel of Time is Tar Valon. Did I get that right? I don't know. At least that's where the Aes Sedai have their seat of power and learning. I think it looks great with, I think it's the Dragon Mount in the background. That's a beautiful shot. That's worthy of an epic fantasy production, in my opinion, and I really like the architecture put on display there. It's very unique. I mean, I haven't seen that before. So yeah, no, I really like that shot.
The power inside you.
And I'm really feeling Rosamund Pike in that role, have to admit. I haven't seen her in many movies. I've seen her most notably in Gone Girl, and she was absolutely brilliant in that. So I don't really have any specific expectations, but I don't know, she has a really nice on-screen, in this case, presence, I think.
All over the world there are different names for it. But it's one thing. One power. And women who can touch it. We protect the world.
Okay, that I have to admit, those arrows, not the biggest fan of that, but it's just one minor magic using shot. The rest of the magic using I think looks really good, but that one, for some reason, just doesn't really work for me. Also, like that, I presume council chamber in the tower with the Aes Sedai. I think it looks great. Again, the architecture to me is very unique. I haven't seen that before in any fancy adaptation or fancy original production. So yeah, it looks really good to me. Skin.
The wheel keeps turning.
Sup, Roose Bolton? I recognized you, bruh. It's funny to see all these actors, you know, in different series. I mean, it's a normal part of their careers, right? But I just always find that funny. I'm like, that's Roose Bolton. Oh, and that upcoming shot. That looks... Now that's just brilliant trailer crafting is what I'm going to call it. That juxtaposition of all these circular images, I think that looks really brilliant. That's just a beautiful way of creating a trailer. You have this joyful, I assume, you know, folkloric dance, then basically a mass burial, and then this council chamber within a tower. I think that looks really beautiful. So props to the people who set up the trailer, because that was a great shot. Also, just tiny little anecdote, but that second image of the circular burial ceremony, I'm assuming it is, very reminiscent of a similar scene in, I think, the second season of The Handmaid's Tale, where you also have this very poignant burial ceremony for handmaids. I don't know, it reminded me of that. And The Handmaid's Tale is one series which I will always praise for the cinematography. It's absolutely beautiful. Well, not always the greatest fan of the storytelling directions taken, especially in season 3. Maybe I'll do, you know, a little review about that in the future, who knows. But yeah, that was similar. It was interesting. I don't know.
For your friends. The last battle is coming. The only thing that matters is what you do.
Okay, you know what? It just came to my mind. Moraine riding on that white horse. Isn't that obvious, like, Fellowship of the Ring vibes? When Arwen and Gandalf are riding away from the ring race. I don't know, I never thought about this before, but now it just popped into my head, like, direct reference. I mean, not a reference, but just made me think of that.
Whatever happens now, there's no turning back.
That thing doesn't look pleasant, so I'm going to put it. But I'm liking the horror vibes. And that whole mouth situation, not a fan, so that thing's a nope. A well-realized nope, don't get me wrong, but it's a nope. Okay, so that very last shot, I think looks great, and the transition into the logo title cinematic for the Wheel of Time, that is also a little brilliant piece of trailer crafting is what I'm going to call it. So, I mean, in general, I just think this trailer or teaser, I mean, why is it a teaser? It's like almost 2 minutes long. I'm a bit confused. Aren't teasers supposed to be like 30 or 50 seconds? How is it not just a trailer? Whatever, it doesn't matter. But so yeah, that trailer looked really good to me overall. Again, I'm not a fan of The Wheel of Time because I haven't read The Wheel of Time, so I'm not part of the original fan base. But I mean, as someone who's seen a lot of movies, a lot of TV series, and a fair few of them fantasy and all science fiction adaptations, this looked good to me. I wasn't that impressed by the photos released for whichever magazine it was. Like, those photos looked a bit off to me, but this trailer looks really good to me. I am impressed by the music. The music has those epic fantasy feelings flowing, so that seems to me quite promising for the series OST. I think, I don't know, the set designs, the costume designs look really nice. I like that it's colourful. Some people have commented upon the fact that they don't like the lighting or the colourfulness of, I guess, the universe. Now, from what I understand, The Wheel of Time starts off being pretty bright and not that dark or gritty, but then it gets darker as the story progresses and the stakes get raised. etc., which, yeah, makes sense to me. So this isn't supposed to be like a Game of Thrones or something grim dark, right? So based on that, I don't see where the problem is with regards to the lighting or the colorfulness. Actually, I like the different colors for the different Aja, I think they are, of the Aes Sedai, and I like the lighting. I mean, this is something I commented on another booktuber's review of the Wheel of Time trailer, and her review was quite positive overall, I might add. And I just said that I don't really understand what the issue is, again, with the lighting, the general vibe, I guess, which seems to be lighter, more colourful, because can't different SFF IPs just have different vibes? Not everything is or has to be Lord of the Rings. Not everything is or has to be Game of Thrones. Different stories have different vibes, different atmospheres, different thematic developments, etc., etc. So I think variety is good, as long as it's well done, as long as there's minimum amount of fidelity to the source material for the fans. Like I said, I'm not part of the fan base, but I certainly hope that it's a good adaptation for all the fans. Also, I added that to those who feel that the SFX work isn't as good as they would like it to be. Personally, I thought like the magic put on display, the channeling I think it's called, I think it looked really good, except perhaps in a couple of places like with those arrows. But otherwise, like that last scene with Moraine just shooting lightning, I thought that looked really good for what that's worth. So for those who weren't completely satisfied with the SFX, this is what I'm going to say. The level of set design and, I don't know, production design overall, the level of special effects in Game of Thrones was not the same in Season 1, and then in Season 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, etc. By the end of Game of Thrones, that TV series had the most magnificent CGI dragons ever made. The music was god tier. I still play OST from Game of Thrones, even though I was emotionally traumatized by the ending of it. The acting was great. Overall, the costume design was beautiful. The set design was beautiful. Overall, the production value of that TV series was amazing. HBO really pulled the money into it that it needed, really. And yet, all the character arcs got massacred. The writing was a hellish trash fire of shit. And the fans, among which I definitely place myself, shot at getting one of the greatest SFF adaptations of all time, got royally effed into the ground. So I'm like, make of that what you will. Basically, special effects isn't all there is to it. Even if the special effects for Wheel of Time aren't great in Season 1, if the acting is good, if the storytelling is engaging, if people are just sucked into that world and its themes and its world building, that is what matters. And then eventually they can invest more into special effects, specifically if that is really needed. But I'm like, not everything relies on special effects. Just remember that. The production value can be god tier, and still the series, the artistic creation can be soulless and dead inside, like it was with Game of Thrones by the end. And yes, I am still extremely bitter about it. So yeah, just keep that in mind, just give it a shot. So those who weren't that impressed by it. Personally, like I said, I thought it looked really good. The music has me a bit hyped, so I'll definitely be checking this out in November, and I guess, sure, maybe I'll do a review of Season 1, but obviously from a non-book fan perspective. In any case, I hope you found this, again, mildly entertaining, interesting, whatever. If you want to share your thoughts about the trailer, about Wheel of Time more generally, please do so in the comments down below. Hope you all have a lovely day, evening, or whichever time of day you prefer. Take care of yourselves, and I shall see you fairly soon in the next video. Bye-bye!